M. Abid Rao to please come to the mic and share his views about the thesis that was presented. Air Vice Marshal Dr. M. Abid Rao has served Pakistan Air Force for 34 years as a fighter pilot. He has also been an instructor, and while he was flying, he flew almost 20 different types of aircraft. He also commanded a fighter squadron and served UAE Air Force on deputation and École Militaire Paris. He is a PhD in international relations, and his thesis is on conflict between religion and nationalism in Pakistan, a very pertinent topic, and has been a member of research faculty of PAF Air War College. He has served as Deputy Director General Civil Aviation from the year 2003 to 2005. He was awarded Sitara Basalat in 1987, Sitara Imtiaz in 1998, and Hilali Imtiaz in 2002. He has also been a host of several TV programs, including a talk show on a private channel, and almost 250 programs were hosted by him. He's also an analyst on defense, national and international issues, religious history, and current affairs. Please, sir, come to the mic and share your views and ideas.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Fiza, thank you very much for these kind words, and you made my job also easier by reciting a few verses from poetry. And I'm feeling very honored to be in this group of such literate and aware people on national and religious issues that I will be able to, I hope, get away with my ignorances only on the basis, on my background that you have just heard. I have a military background, but I'll be speaking to you as a student of history, as a common citizen of this country, on issues that have bothered me from my childhood. And today I find myself on a roundabout without knowing the direction of exit. And where will I end up? Who will take me out? Who will tell me when? So before I start on this very serious subject, let me also say a few verses, because every day when you get up there is a new crisis and you get a new subject to think, and a bigger crisis makes you forget the yesterday's crisis. So it's a very good attempt today by Agha Shahnawaz, a learned person in the city, as all of you know, who has taken this initiative and asked us to speak on a subject we hear all TV channels talking at the night in the evening programs. So on that, I've tried to say something in Urdu poetry. My poem is titled as Aaj, today. Jalao lakh magar din mein mazrat hogi, andhere mein hi chiragon ki ahmiyat hogi. मुझे भी विरसे में हिजरत मिली थी पुरखों से, सफर में बच्चों की मेरी क्या कौमियत होगी। कभी वतन कभी मजहब का नारा सुनता हूं, समझ ना पाया कभी किसको फौकियत होगी। किसी वतन में अगर इज्जतें न हो महफूज, तो उसकी खाक से सोचो क्या उनसियत होगी। वतन के नाम पे लुटने की मुझको फिक्र नहीं, मजहब के नाम पे लुटना तो मासियत होगी। हुकूक जर से मिले या के जोरे बाजू से, यहां के मुनसिफों की कैसी आकिबत होगी। मैं खुदकुशी पे हूं माइल ये सोचकर आबिद, शहीद लोगों के संग मेरी मगफिरत होगी। Gentlemen, having said that, let me come to the subject of the day. Today, the situation in which we find ourselves is very unusual, and since I started reading newspapers, there's one phrase that I find repetitive, and I find it even today, कि मुल्क बहुत नाजुक दौर से गुजर रहा है. ऐसा बहरान पहले कभी नहीं आया. It proves that we are every day stepping into a bigger crisis. But when you look at a problem, you must look at the background. From where does it generate? It stems out. So, if you look at creation of Pakistan, we have to look at it dispassionately. Today we are almost, 14th August is just 1 week away. We are about 63 years old. When you touch 60, वो कहते हैं कि या आप सठिया जाते हैं या आप बुजुर्ग बन जाते हैं. So this is a turning point from that point also, and I am also reaching that age now where we have to decide about our madness or our, maturity. It's difficult to pick up the starting point of the thread when you want to solve a crisis, but let's pick it up from wherever we can, randomly, so that maybe we can find, or somebody amongst us can indicate the problem and therefore a solution. Creation of Pakistan, from the standards of social science, political science, was very unnatural. Please pardon me for this word, unnatural. Because Pakistan never existed before 14th August 1947. So we did not get freedom. We carved out, we designed, we took a new state from a mother country. The freedom movement of this country was fought in those areas which are not part of this country. The leaders who fought for the freedom creation of Pakistan did not belong to this area except for very few. Quaid-e-Azam, you can give him the credit of being a Sindhi, Karachiite, or being in Bombay. Other than that, nobody from Punjab or NWFP or Balochistan contributed from that point of view. The national language was imported. The national dress of Sherwani and Shalwar was imported, did not belong here. East and West wings were 1,000 miles apart by a hostile motherland. The only thing common between the two wings was religion and nothing else, which proved too fragile to keep the two wings together, and it lived only for 24 years that we lost East Pakistan, that is Bangladesh today. The country, I'm told, I read, I've heard, was created in the name of religion, for Muslims, for establishing a Muslim state, Islamic state. I leave it to you to decide. But all religious parties before 47 opposed creation of Pakistan. Soon after partition, these same religious parties wanted share in the power, and till today they are destabilizing this country for their piece of the meat. Basis of creation of Pakistan, two-nation theory in political science. I don't want to debate whether it was right or wrong. We have got the best part of that. The dividend, the country, the freedom from Hindus, was based on hatred. In political science, there is a theory called theory of exclusivity. That in 1870, when Sir Syed Ahmad Khan suggested this theory, it meant that we are Muslims, we are different, we don't want you people. We want a separate identity. And they were the majority, they were the Hindus, they were the other non-Muslims, including Sikhs and Christians. In 1940, we refined this theory of exclusivity. We say we want another country, we reject you to live with. In 1942-43, we coined the word Pakistan, which means land of the pure. That means the impure have no place in this country, or will not find a place in this country. 1947, we create this country, and 49, we create an objective resolution rejecting or giving a relegated and a lower status to the non-Muslims. Then 1974, we tell the Qadianis that you are not a part of us. We deny them even the right to live in this country. Abdus Salam, the Nobel laureate, was denied the right to be buried in this country, who was the son of the soil, purely on religious grounds. In 1980, Ziaul Haq imposed Zakat ordinance, telling the Shias that you are a separate community. After that, within Sunnis, there were 4. The theory of exclusivity has not yet ended. You are going into that core of very small people that only they are Pakistanis, only they have the right to love and live in this country. So, in 1947, a nation was born, a country was created, a nation state was created against the ideas of Allama Iqbal, whom we say he was the Shair-e-Mashriq, Pakistan ka nazariyati shair. We have just heard the 2 speakers about nationalism in Islam. Actually, I support what Agha Shahnawaz Sahab said, that in Islam, nationalism is discouraged, geographical boundaries are discouraged. The realities that came in the early 20th century, after 1920, when nation starts emerging against the empires, nationalism came up. And Allama Iqbal said, इन ताज़ा खुदाओं में बड़ा सबसे वतन है, जो पैरहन है इसका मजहब का कफन है. You have to bury religion if you want to promote nationalism. Now, this debate is on. Once I was sitting with somebody very senior, I can name him, President Lagari, who was then president, who was not president then, he had left his offices. And I asked him this question, that why do people who are as educated as you are not promote nationalism in our assemblies and senates? He said, there is no confusion. Fortunately, we were watching a World Cup match, Yusuf Yohanna playing for Pakistan, Zahir Khan bowling for India. I said, if I go to your concept of Ummah, I must support Zahir Khan because he is my Muslim brother. But if I go for nationalism, Yusuf Yohanna is my hero. I have to support him. So, this is a very silly example to highlight the relevance or a relegated status of nationalism in our country. When there is a problem which is affecting Muslim Ummah but is against our national interest, we go for Ummah. Any issue with Israel, good or bad, when it happens, Pakistan is the first country to do that. Fine, Muslims are our brothers, but should it be done at the cost of national interest of Pakistan? I will leave it there because 20 minutes are too little a time for me to cover my other points. And the good thing was that it is restricted to 20 minutes. The bad thing is that I am a poor manager of time. So, coming back to the thesis that was presented this morning, Agha Sahab said there is no clergy in Islam. There is no kingship in Islam. There is no landlordism in Pakistan. There is no nationalism in Pakistan. I can agree in totality with what he said. If so, did Islam stop to exist after 41st Hijri, after Shahadat of Hazrat Ali? Because the first king was born then, Amir Muawiyah. His agenda, his governance was same what Ziaul Haq did, what Pervez Musharraf did. It continues what our president today is doing. In that, I'll quote few examples. After Khilafat, Amir Muawiyah ordered a throne for himself. He was a little heavy in weight. He couldn't sit on the ground. So that may have been his, compulsion. From the Mal-e-Ghanimat that used to come, the formula of division was 20% for the treasury, 80% to be divided in the army that fought that campaign or brought those spoils after the war. So he changed that. He said, whenever this comes home, all precious metals and gold and diamonds to be given to the king, rest to be distributed as per the Sharia law. That means 20 and 80%. Second thing, appointment of judges.